Good evening. You're watching NewsX with me, Devika Devan. As the geopolitical crossfire between the United States and Iran has turned the Strait of Hormuz into a graveyard, commercial vessels have become floating targets. Behind the corporate flags, the shipping manifests and the clinical military briefings are the lives of Indian families that are being ripped apart forever. Viewers, these are not just statistics. These are the faces of the crisis. This began on the 1st of March when the product tanker MT-MKD Vyom was struck off the coast of Oman by an unmanned drone boat. The vessel suffered a severe breach above the waterline, triggering a massive fire in the engine room where over 30-year-old Dikshit Amritlal Solanki was stationed, an engine room oiler from Kandivali, West Mumbai, and the son of a former seaman. His life was cut short instantly. Hours later, the tanker MT Skylight came under fire near Oman's Musandam Peninsula, caught directly in an intense military exchange at the mouth of the strait. Captain Ashish Kumar from Bihar and crew member Dalip Singh from Rajasthan were killed. At the time of the attack, Singh was in the forward section of the ship with Kumar. On May 8, the violence claimed a traditional wooden commercial dough which caught fire and capsized while transiting towards Yemen. An unnamed Indian deckhand lost his life to severe injuries before the vessel sank into the sea. Then on June 9th, the Palau-flagged MT Setebello was targeted by US naval forces in the Gulf of Oman under the claim of a strict maritime blockade. 44-year-old chief engineer Patnala Suresh from Visakhapatnam, engine fitter Shivanand Chaurasia from Deoria, Uttar Pradesh, and deck cadet Aditya Sharma from Himachal Pradesh all lost their lives when the missile tore through the hull. The tragedy deepened on July 12 when an Iranian projectile struck the Cyprus-flagged GFS Galaxy, causing a devastating explosion in the engine room. 30-year-old Heram Karmarkar, a marine third engineer from Pune, Maharashtra, had texted his wife that he had crossed the strait safely just minutes before the strike. He was trapped inside the burning engine room and his body was recovered after a grueling 60-hour search operation. Barely 48 hours later, on July 14th, Iranian cruise missiles targeted the Emirati tankers MT Al Bahia and MT Mombasa. 31-year-old marine engineer Rohan Kumar from Gopalganj, Bihar, who had just returned to sea in June, lost his life instantly when the missile struck his quarters. 9 Indian families have been shattered by this conflict, and it forces us to ask the most compelling, most painful question tonight. The cost of war is frequently measured, viewers, by us unfortunately in oil prices, in supply chains, and billions of dollars. But the true cost of war is never monetary. Money can be earned, economies can be recovered. The real cost of war is the violent displacement, the severed lives, and the permanent darkness that's left in homes from Mumbai to Bihar, where families will remain in mourning for the rest of their days. Who would want their children to pursue a career at sea today? International waters are no longer safe passages for trade. They've become a lawless, free-for-all battleground. And what makes this tragedy fundamentally worse is the staggering, chilling lack of sympathy shown by either of the warring sides. Not a single word of apology has been uttered, let alone remorse. Because the truth today is this, viewers. They look at themselves as Americans, they look at themselves as Iranians, and they look at us not as human beings, but as nothing more than collateral damage in a war we didn't start and unfortunately cannot end. That is the real cost of war. But how do we protect our sailors?